The stock market today has went up over 2%, massive gains across the board, and the fundamental reasons for stocks going up is, I don't know. I really do not know why they're going up. I guess the best guess I can make is some sort of manipulative manner, as the stocks, which are very overextended, keep going up. The stress tests, which were supposed to be announced today, are now going to be announced on Thursday. This is for the banking sector, and it looks like Citigroup and Bank of America are going to have to come up with over $10 billion in capital. And yet Bank of America is up over 17% today. Citigroup is up over 7%. And I wish I could tell you how the stock market works, but the evidence in which I've been stating how like a stock market of a casino this is manipulative, is just making a lot of sense right now. And like I said with these stocks, we have seen the S&P 500, its ETF SPY, go over $90 today. This is the first time SPY has been to this level since June the 9th, 2009. The Nasdaq's ETF code, which is QQQQ, it is over $35. The first time it's been at this level since October the 14th of last year. And it has just skyrocketed past the 200-day moving average. Very unrealistic, if you will. I mean, I was mentioning before in my blog how the 100-day moving average, the Dow Jones and the SPY was above it and holding above it, which I thought was a little awkward. And now we're seeing the Nasdaq do this with the 200-day moving average. Very speculative, in my opinion. And the Dow Jones, looking at this chart now, it has went up to 8,400. This was a previous level of major support back before we had the fall that brought us down to under 6,500. So we'll see how 8,400 holds. The more often we see these rallies, the more evidence to me that I'm going to be getting that all of these rallies are very, very manipulative. And now I'm trying to wonder how this whole stock market thing even works based on the up and down swings, because on January the 6th, the Dow Jones topped at $9,088, and 2 months later, it bottomed at a little under 6,500, which was a loss of over 2,600 or 28.8%. Now today's high was 8,416 as of 3 something in the afternoon, and that was a gain of almost 2,000 points, which is a gain of 30.1%. So a higher percentage gain, yet that's still over 600 points behind its highs from that we had back in January. So what I'm kind of wondering is, how does this whole stock market work? What I want to use is this quick example. Say, a very simple example, say one particular stock had 500 billion shares and it was trading at $100. If X amount of people get out and the stock goes down to 50, it would have lost 50%. If the same amount of people, if X amount of people get back in and the other people who are already in have stayed in, would the stock go back up to $100? Would it be lower than that? What would the price be? That's the question I'm not too familiar with, because the casino of the stock market doesn't explain everything to me. It's a lot of information to know, and I'm not exactly sure how, of course, this works out. But like I've said, we've seen the market fall 28.8%, then rise 30%, and we're still 600 points below the January highs. And this chart shows you here, when we have the exact same percentages of stocks going up and down, the same percentages, that stocks always lose. Because if you have a stock at $100 that goes up 10%, that would bring you to 110. But if you reduce 10% of that, you would have to bring down 11, which would bring you to 99. So the percentages have it set for it to lose. I'm not too sure how the stock market how the stock market works exactly with this. But this rally that we're seeing, a little bit speculative in my opinion. The market is extremely overbought right now, and like I say, if we see the market continuing to go higher, this is giving me signs that hyperinflation is going to be starting very soon, and that deflation worries will not happen. I'm still predicting that we have deflation before inflation, meaning Dow Jones 654 whatever thousand, and then go right back up as far as hyperinflation is concerned, because if there is a lot of hyperinflation, you can expect stocks to go really, really high. I'll also like to point out that this weekend, or this Friday anyway, we are going to have the unemployment numbers with the stress test on Thursday, so a lot of volatility may happen at the end of the week, and I'm kind of wondering the delay of this. I don't think that, I was hearing before they really can't come out and say that everything's fine because people aren't just going to believe it, which is true. And at the same time, I think they don't want to make things look as bad as they really are. Every time I hear these news, you got to read between the lines and understand. They're going to tell you the way they want to tell you. Sort of like the unemployment. They want to tell you the unemployment is 9% and make all of these, based on people who are giving up looking for work, based on people who are working like 20 hours at Walmart, stuff like that. These type of people don't count. So that's something you got to look at. They're going to tell you the information they want, that the way they want to tell you. That's pretty much one of the lessons that I've been learning by this whole ordeal. So we'll see how these numbers work out, but I would like to say that this is going to bring the market down because of all this bad news, but it seems as if that the mainstream media is trying to make things look a lot better than they actually are, because with Chrysler going bankrupt, GM closing many plants down or many lines down, this is going to cause a domino effect of many businesses going out of business, having definitely less sales, meaning instead of having 200 employees, they have 160, and that change just keeps on going. So they can say everything is fine, but it's not. Obama wants to restore lending. Well, that's what got us in this mess the whole time. So everything's going to play out how it is, and maybe, who knows, maybe the Dow Jones will be 10,000 by the end of the month. I don't know. But nonetheless, it seems as if it's all controlled behind the scenes. That's a lot of evidence in which is showing that anyway. Hope this helps, and good luck everyone. Peace and light.